Hi, this is Self-Discovery Support. This is going to be a themed reading for air signs and is meant to help you reflect on your own situation. The reading may contain images of nudity, I have to say that, and is only intended for those that are 18 plus. It's best to view this reading as a storyline rather than destiny. For the clarity you seek, listen for what either resonates or agitates. Then you will understand your thoughts and feelings more. Any time codes and info about me and this reading, they're all in the description box. All right, so let's get started. I shuffled and pulled these cards for you air signs: Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Okay, so we are dealing with the situation of this escape card. This person says, I left when things got hard. So if you're dealing with someone that has left your life, that, you know, it could be a breakup, it could be ghosting, it could be any of these things that people do. And often that behavior can be perplexing. Why did it happen? And it can be painful, more importantly, because, you know, you might be feeling that this is a value judgment on you, but not necessarily. And actually, as we do these readings more, you're finding that it's not about you in 100%, right? It's a reaction to you, of course, but the person also brings their things, their stuff with them. All right, so let's look at these cards. Your person comes up in this Queen energy, as, you know, like a rationale, like what was happening when they left. Now, the Queen energy, this is fire. So you could be dealing with somebody that has fire placements in their chart, but it makes this Queen card makes me think about, that's interesting. I just said the Queen card. My phone keeps going off. You know that song is like that Korean, that K-pop song that's really popular now about Queen card. So it's kind of like that. I was just gonna say, like, your person is in that Queen of Wands energy, and I think you know that. Like, that's why you find them interesting, right? Queen of Wands is very attractive, but attractive not just because of the physical. There's a kind of energy that this person brings, that internal fire. Without being showy, because that's the Queen energy, not the King energy. The King is more active, but your person actually shows up as the Queen card, kind of just like the K-pop song. And so what that means, what would that energy mean here for you? There's some things. The Queen has a sense of responsibility. She's a leader. And there's just a sense about her that she's got things to do. Now, that can be hard to hear, because if you're thinking that maybe this person chose everything else over you, in some ways that is true. And I think I can validate that in this reading. In some ways that is true, but I don't think your person sees it that way. The Queen of Wands energy and this kind of energy is someone that's worked very hard in their life to get to a certain point. And you may have encountered your person at a time in their life when it was like the crux of things. So it's almost like, if you think about I don't watch these Netflix things, but you know all the series like Queen Victoria, The Crown, and I think now it's like Bridgerton is the one that was just passed, and Queen Charlotte. But it's this idea of like ascending a throne. It's like coming into your own sense of power. It's like the arc of a lifetime, right? And it sounds dramatic, but it is that serious for your person here. It is somebody who was, that's interesting. I just looked over at my bookcase, where my decks are, and I just drawn to the label on one of the decks, and it says Destiny, and that really stands out to me. It's your person has a real sense of destiny about their life. And I get the feeling that you were a little bit unexpected. And so think about like any of these politicians where there's like a plan. And it's not so much like a plan, but it's just like you're building, you're working. There's this bigger picture. I don't know that your person has a plan. Like, you know, your whole life is planned, but they're on a kind of path, is how I describe it. And we look at this, it says determination and sacrifice. Now I'm drawn to the sacrifice because it's like this person would have, at this particular point in their life, been willing to sacrifice anything else to make sure that their plans, their path was adhered to, because this person is somebody that has, I don't even want to call it calling, but it's like they're building brick by brick, and they're at that point where it's crucial for the shaping of whatever they're doing. And it can feel like I'm just saying like this person was just too busy. Like, you know, all of what I'm saying could just feel like you could be thinking this person is just too busy. In some ways, they didn't have space in their heart, or they weren't at a point where they had the ease or the sense of ease to be flexible enough to make that space. I hope that explains it. Validation comes in as some feelings that they're experiencing. Let's look at this. So, okay, this in relation to the Queen energy is somebody that your person might be someone that seeks external validation as a way of proving worth. You know, a lot of people do this, like they're workaholics, and I don't know if your person's a workaholic, but they're very committed to their work. They're very invested. And then with the doubt, yeah, it just feels like if you're, okay, it's like giving your whole life to a career, project by project, job by job, and then somebody comes in and it almost like this connection demands that much energy, that much space. I don't think your person also knows how to kind of compartmentalize. This is somebody that it's like they know that this connection would have uprooted this path, if you see what I'm saying. And so with this, it feels like even though they were not sure, they definitely were sure about the path they were on, and they definitely were kind of almost like protective of that, because it feels like the energy here with the Aleph when things got hard is that something in the connection, maybe there were tensions that popped up, or connections go through different periods, and it could have been just too much for this person at this point.